Sarah, and today we're going to be doing the wrist curl and the Romanian deadlift. Now, before we get started, I just want to make a quick note that I am using a curved bar, and you really should be using a straight bar for both of these exercises. I'm just using this for the sake of the video because it's shorter and fits in the frame better because the straight bar is a little too long. But you'll want a straight bar for both of these exercises. Now, the wrist curl is, we're going to start with that first, and we're going to be working a lot of the muscles in our forearms. So the flexor carpi ulnaris and radialis, as well as the palmaris longus. These are the primary muscles that we're going to work today in the forearm. So we're going to start coming over to our bench. And you don't really need a spotter for this. We're going to sit at the edge of our bench. And if your bench doesn't have one of these, you can sit forward as well. But if you do have a spotter or someone, they can hand you the bar, but otherwise you can take the bar with you to the bench. And what you're going to want to do, we're going to be flexing and extending the wrist. So we're going to want to do a supinated closed grip. So we're going to reach under the bar and we're going to grab the bar with our palms faced up. And you're going to want to make sure that your shoulders are back, that you have a neutral spine. And what we're going to do is we're going to slowly hinge at the hips and roll forward so that our forearms are resting on our thighs. And so that the wrists are just slightly hanging over the knees just so you have some range of motion there. Now this is going to be a very small movement and you're not going to see a lot of range of motion, but this is really important because this is going to help improve our grip strength and our forearm stability, which will help us with heavier lifts and other things that we need. So it's a very functional, a very important functional move that we can do. So make sure your back is in alignment, and then hinge forward at the hips and make sure your forearms are resting on your thighs. Your toes are pointed out forward. Then what we're going to do, and again, small range of motion, we're going to just slowly extend the wrist until the bar is like gripping in our fingertips, and then we're just going to pull back, and you're going to want to make sure that that motion is all the way in the wrist. Some people have a lot of range of motion in the wrist, some don't. This will be a good time to see what your flexibility looks like. So just that's basically the movement. It's very small. You're just going to roll the bar. You're holding onto the bar, but like rolling it into the hand. So don't let go of the bar. Keep your fingers gripped around it and just roll it like this. So it's a very small range of motion. Okay, next we're going to do the Romanian deadlift. So for the Romanian deadlift, again, you're going to want to make sure you have a straight bar for this, ideally, but you're going to want your toes pointed forward. Here, I'll try to move over here. So your toes are pointed forward and shoulders are back. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we're holding the bar in a closed, pronated, clean grip. You want to make sure that the grip is fairly narrow. If you need to go a little wider, but I like to do, shoulder to hip width is good, something in there, because ultimately you want this bar to be in contact with your thighs the entire way down and back up. It never leaves your thighs. So kind of whatever that looks like for you about hip width. So again, we're going to keep those shoulders back, and we're going to make sure we have a neutral spine, and we're going to slowly hinge at the hips. With a Romanian deadlift, you're going to be starting with the bar in your hand, and you want to make sure you have a slight bend in your knees, and you're going to hinge at the hips, and you're going to slowly come down and make sure that that bar is almost in contact or in contact with the thighs the whole time, rolling down until it's just over the knees, and then slowly pull back up. Again, keeping a neutral spine the entire time. Use your hamstrings and your glutes to pull yourself back up, and a little bit of core. So the main muscles we're working here though are the glutes, the hamstrings, and a lot of the erector spinae, so a lot of the back muscles. So again, I'll show you one more time. We're going to go down and keeping that neutral spine all the way over the knees, and then back up. You don't want to jerk back up. You don't want to use momentum. This is a great move to help with our explosiveness sure this movement is controlled, so we don't hurt our back or anything.